is the other one that's up about 1% or so. But let's talk more about numbers. DB Corp reported their numbers yesterday. Girish Agarwaal joins in to talk about that. Girish, morning, there's been some pressure on your bottom line. Can you just walk us through what kind of impact you had to face, both in terms of raw material costs escalating and the one-time expense you had to incur on your new launches? How much of that dented your bottom line?
Good morning. See, if you look at our business, so we still have around 35% of EBITDA margin in the H1 from our mature markets, all the places where we've already present. And whatever we invested last 2 quarters has been our new markets like Jharkhand and Maharashtra. So that's the reason you see a temporary pressure on the bottom line. But if you look at the top line, we have advertising growth of almost 18% in the H1. I think in the current scenario, 18% is a pretty good number on the top line.
Morning, Girish. Can you just break this 18% up for us? Because we've been hearing that at the national level, the advertising situation is becoming quite sluggish, but you're being bailed out by local advertising. Can you just give us a comparative picture of the two?
Yeah, very much. I think the retail is growing at 20% plus, and the national is below 10%. And you're right, the national market is a bit sluggish. And I think retail is, which is our forte, because almost 62% of advertising comes from the retail.
When you mean retail, when you say retail, can you take us to what segments you actually mean, and do you see this kind of growth as sustainable?
See, all the advertisers, those who are present in our market, living in our market like Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat and all this, advertising local to local. It could be education, it could be real estate, it could be lifestyle and all those. Those who are not managed by or monitored by their head office sitting in Delhi or Bombay. That's what retail for us. And I think looking at the scenario in last, I would say 15 years, my experience says that retail is the one which really keeps looking at the market on a weekly basis. So there's no CMO sitting there who decide that the market is sluggish time off for 3 months. They see on a weekly basis, and that's the reason they understand the pulse much better, and they keep supporting us.
For the second half then, Girish, what do you think may be a sustainable track in terms of ad revenue growth for you?
See, my concern is again the national advertisers only, because we are not seeing any clear picture from the national advertisers. Even in this month of Diwali, there is advertising, but again largely skewed towards the retail guys. So national guys have not yet given any clear indication. I hope the market improves a bit this month onward, so the national advertiser also comes back. If they come back, then I think a number upward of what I've achieved in H1 can further be achieved.
And how will that sit in with circulation revenues on a blended basis, Girish, both your mature and new markets?
See, circulation-wise, our growth is only happening because of the additional increase in the copies. Like, for example, last year we were at 38 lakh copies, and in this quarter we are at almost 45.5 lakh copies. So the growth in the circulation revenue is morely because of the new copies which we are adding on. Almost 17% new copies we have added on in last 1 year's time. And we don't intend to increase any major cover price. So we don't see any spike coming on the in the circulation revenue from that front.
Your raw material costs have gone up quite a bit in the current quarter. Do you see that denting margins going forward?
See, raw material, if you break it down from 38% the growth which we have in the cost of the raw material, 16% is on account of the pricing and the balance is on account of the circulation. And looking at the market now, I don't think the newsprint is going up any further. That's what the indication we have clearly. But the problem what we have is the dollar. Like this quarter, we lost around 6 crore from the dollar because we bought the dollar that time, booked at 46 point something, and today is 49 point something. So that could be an impact. But otherwise, in absolute term, the newsprint price, which is hovering around 31.2, is not going beyond that.
Good luck, Girish. Thanks for joining in today. That's DB Corp. The stock is seeing a little bit of pressure.